Welcome to day 2 of Glow Up Week. Today we're going to talk about how to shift your mindset and shift your money and what thoughts might be blocking you from changing your life or making more money, whether it's in a job or in a career. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Today we're going to learn, or I'm going to teach you about shifting your paradigm. What is your paradigm? Your paradigm is a collection of thoughts, feelings, and actions that are driving your life. So I'm going to go to the board. I made this for a client and I figured, let me teach it to you the same way. So right now, you are in the box, and you hear all the time about thinking inside the box, get out of the box, stop thinking in the box. But all of us are thinking inside a box that is creating our current results. What are your current results? If you start here, which you are starting here, with your current thoughts, feelings, and actions, that is what's creating your life right now. So I'll give you an example. I have a woman that started working with me recently who is not really happy with what's going on her job. And that speaks to a lot of people, and it a lot of my clients have felt the same way. So you're unhappy at your job and you go there every day, and I felt that way too. So you go there every day and you're thinking, I really don't want to be here. These people are getting on my nerves. I don't even like what I'm doing anymore, but I have to do it because I need the money. Right there, that is your current paradigm. Those are the thoughts that are keeping you stuck at this job, in this situation. So you have that job, you make a specific amount of money, you commute the same way, whether you're working home or commuting. Everything is the same. Everything is the same every day. And then you're thinking the same thoughts, you're having the same feelings, and taking the same actions. Because the way it works is, and this is neuroscience, this is the way our brains work, is that when we think a certain thought, it triggers feelings, it triggers emotions, it triggers a vibration in your body. And then from that, you take certain actions. So if you think that your job sucks, or maybe you love how much money you make, but you just don't like the job, or you hate the job and how much money you make, you're going to feel discouraged, disappointed, and your actions are based on that vibration. So I teach that your thoughts and feelings create your vibe, they create how you show up in the world. So that's your current paradigm. But let's say you start watching these videos, or you are watching people online making all this money, or reinventing their lives, or getting divorced and thriving, or moving to other countries. There's a number of circumstances that people want to change. So let's say your circumstances, you're on this job, you don't like the job, and you want to make more money. Let's just start there. You want to make more money. So you start thinking, how can I get out of here? Which is where I was and where lots of my clients are. How can I get out of here? How can I make more money? You have to start thinking, feeling, and acting in a way that is going to move you out of the current box you are in. So instead of thinking every day, I have to take what they're telling me, I have to agree with it, I have to go along with what they're saying at work or doing at work, what if you started thinking, maybe I can find another job, or maybe I can make income outside of my job? You might not know how, but what if you just started thinking it's possible? Well, when you start thinking that it's possible, then you start feeling different. You start to feel more encouraged, more inspired, and then you might start looking for ways you can make more money while you're still in the job. So when you start looking for ways to make more money, instead of bouncing off the walls in the same box, you start to step outside that box and you start opening your mind to other possibilities. And that's why I have windows and door, because you come into a place where you can flow a little bit better. you flow a little bit better, you're thinking in a more open minded way. And the thing about it is, even when you're here, you have the education, you have the experience, you have the knowledge, you have everything you need to create the income you desire, but you're telling yourself that you have to stay here or that you're stuck here or stuck in the same career, which isn't true. Once you start like really seeing what's going on in your brain and calling yourself out. And it's like, hey, what I've been saying, that's not even true. Like I used to say all the time, I can't justify spending money on my coach certification. And so for a couple of years, I didn't get certified because I kept saying, I'm too old to spend the money. I got to save for retirement, save for retirement, save for retirement. And the way I started moving out of this paradigm, which is the way I teach my clients how to move out of the paradigm, is to say, what if you learning or me learning how to make money was the way to shift paradigms, was the way to save for retirement, was the way to have more money by thinking differently? And so someone said this to me and it blew my mind and it changed everything in my life. And that is, what if your business was your retirement plan? Because most of us are living much longer than what we have saved for in our retirement plan, unless you've been in this high level, multiple six-figure position your whole career. The amount that you could have saved or get in Social Security does not cover the lifestyle that you want to be living. And so, if you're motivated to make more money or leave your job, then the next step in this paradigm, because it could be leave your current situation in your marriage. It could be learn how to swim. It could be so many things where you're in the box with your beliefs. So, what we're talking about is making more money. So, you move here and you start thinking it's it's possible. If Gail can do it, and this one can do it, and that one can do it, then I can do it too. And then you start feeling encouraged. And then you start taking actions to look, and these are the actions I'm going to suggest you take. Start looking for examples of what's possible. Start looking for other women that are doing what you desire to do. Once you're here, and I call this my 3 box system, but 3 boxes, 3 houses in the box, starting to move out of the box. The next one is when you really are elevating your thoughts, your feelings, and taking inspired actions on a consistent basis, and you start seeing new results. So, if I said to you, the way to make more money is to write down everything you know, all from all your certifications, your experience, your education, and then, and this is an action I'm going to tell you to take, and then put it in ChatGPT. Put it in there. Ask ChatGPT for suggestions of what you can teach with or what you already know. So, what can I teach based on what I already know? These are the things that I already know. What can I teach? What can I sell? Who can I talk to? Who can I coach? Who can I consult with? Those are all income streams to help you start making money while you're still in the job, which is exactly what I did. I got certified, started moving out the box. After certification or during certification, we had to start coaching people. So I started coaching, I started charging, I started believing that I could leave my job based on the evidence of what I was already doing while I was on the job. And so from there, back to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT because a lot of times it's hard for us to get out of our own brains. That's what I help my clients do, get out of their own brain and talk to someone who's already done this. I've helped hundreds of people now. I've taught how to do this in a different way. I wasn't using ChatGPT before. I was using my own brain and my own ideas. Now I have my ideas, but I also supplement them with what I find in ChatGPT and what my clients put in ChatGPT. Because that's the wave, that's the future. AI is the future. We cannot run from it. From here, you start to make a little bit of money. You start to have new thoughts, more inspired actions you're taking. You're starting to feel more confident. Then you move into this box. It's wide open. I equate this to when you see on one of the renovation shows where they take out either an entire wall or maybe a traditional sliding glass door and they put this door that opens everything up wide. Well, you're wide open. You're moving and shifting in the possibilities. And that's what's happening here. You are flowing and shifting. Your income starts to go up. And all of a sudden, you see consistently you're making more money because you had the courage to step outside of this box. And I use this in all circumstances because our paradigm is what is running our life. And that is the key to shifting your mindset and your money. You have to change the way that you are thinking and the way that you are showing up in the world. So come back tomorrow for day 3 where we're going to continue this conversation. And this is stuff that I paid, literally, I paid $18,000 to get certified. It was not taught to me in this way. It was taught to me based on thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Circumstance, thoughts, feeling, actions, and results. I created this because I am a more visual person and I like to see pictures, and I find out that most people do like to see it play out. And so this is it. This is what I teach. This is what I want you to try. If you have questions, message me, put it below the video, and reach out. I love this. I geek out on this as someone who was an accountant and now I'm a coach and a teacher and a trainer. I love like logic. I love having specific instructions, and that's what I gave you today. So come back tomorrow for day 3.